Already got her. Hey, how about that, Cowboys?
So here we go. Jerry Jones, Shedeur Sanders, Kevin Stefanski. 3 names you probably didn't expect in the same sentence, but now they're tangled in one of the wildest stories in football. And it all starts with Jerry, because with Jerry, it's never just football. It's theater, it's money, it's ego, it's chaos. And this time, the spotlight is burning on Cleveland, right when the Browns finally thought they had found their guy in Shedeur Sanders. Wait, did Jerry really just let Shedeur's name slip into the Cowboys' orbit? Did he really hint at a move so outrageous it could flip the entire NFL upside down? That's exactly what happened. And the way this story unfolds, it doesn't just sound like a trade rumor. It feels like a Shakespeare play with helmets and shoulder pads. Jerry didn't just sit down and say, "We're good with Dak." He teased the unthinkable. He cracked open the door to chaos. And when Jerry Jones does that, the whole league starts shaking. Because the NFL has seen this man rip rosters apart before, gamble the future, and come out with headlines nobody else could even imagine. And the second Shedeur Sanders' name got dragged into the Cowboys conversation, it wasn't just about football anymore. It was about Jerry chasing immortality. Think about this. Cleveland fans were finally starting to believe again. They finally got a quarterback who doesn't collapse under the lights. Shedeur came in calm, confident, throwing absolute rockets, and suddenly the dog pound dusted off hope like it was some artifact hidden in the basement for 50 years. He looked like the future, the one guy who could flip the Browns from laughingstock to legit contender. And then bang, Jerry Jones decides he wants in. This isn't just a trade rumor. This is billionaire chess with Shedeur Sanders caught in the middle. Now let's stop right here and ask, if you were Kevin Stefanski, headset on, finally feeling like your team had a future, how would you react if Jerry Jones started plotting to rip your golden boy away? Because make no mistake, that's what's happening here. Here comes Jerry, oil tycoon turned NFL ringmaster. The man who doesn't just own the Cowboys, he owns the entire spotlight. He walks into this saga like a villain straight out of a soap opera, whispering, scheming, pretending it's just football business. But you know better. With Jerry, it's never just football. The moment Shedeur's name started buzzing beyond Cleveland, Jerry's eyes lit up. This wasn't about scouting. It wasn't about Dak's contract drama. This was Jerry smelling opportunity, and when Jerry smells opportunity, subtlety gets buried 6 feet deep. He doesn't make quiet phone calls. He orchestrates steakhouse dinners. He plants whispers in smoky backrooms. He gets third-party fixers to float the idea until it catches fire. And somewhere in the middle of all that, Deion Sanders shows up. That's right, prime time. Cowboys royalty. Jerry's old flame from the glory days. The man who turned Dallas into must-watch television before half the league even had cable. And when Deion drops his son's name into conversation, Jerry doesn't just listen. He starts sketching empire blueprints on a billion-dollar napkin. This isn't scouting. This is Jerry Jones scripting the final act of his Cowboys soap opera. And the crazy part? He's willing to blow up everything for it. Multiple first-round picks. Star players. Salary cap gymnastics so wild even Wall Street would sweat. Jerry doesn't care. If it means Shedeur Sanders in a star helmet, he's ready to gut his roster, torch the books, and gamble his legacy. Now let me ask you this. Is Shedeur Sanders really worth that level of obsession? Or is this Jerry trying to buy himself a last chapter that history will never forget?
Where's Shedeur?
Sam went to get it.
One of them is coming in right now.
Very easy to be the top pick in the draft.
Nice to see you.
Nice to
Meanwhile, Cleveland is falling apart on the inside. Half the front office is saying, protect Shedeur. Build around him. Give the city something real. The other half? They're hypnotized by dollar signs. They're looking at branding deals, jersey sales, licensing rights, dreaming about becoming a marketing monster. But come on, it's Cleveland. This is the franchise that couldn't sell beachfront condos in Hawaii even if they gave away free parking. The moment Jerry Jones waves his cowboy hat full of cash, you just know half those executives start daydreaming about cashing out. And stuck in the middle of this circus? Shedeur Sanders. A rookie who just wants to sling the ball. Who just wants to prove himself. Who just wants to play football without billionaires circling overhead like vultures at a Texas barbecue. And this is what makes Jerry so dangerous. He doesn't need it tomorrow. He doesn't need it next week. He'll wait. He'll plant the whispers. He'll slide the ideas into conversations. He'll wait for one bad injury, one ugly contract dispute, one accidental leak, and then, boom. Jerry swoops in like a hawk with oil money dripping off his wings. To Jerry, Shedeur isn't just a quarterback. He's the golden bridge to immortality. But here's the catch. Immortality comes at a cost. Because Dallas doesn't nurture quarterbacks. Dallas chews them up and spits them out faster than reality show contestants. One bad interception and the Dallas media will roast Shedeur alive. And Jerry, the same Jerry who ran off Jimmy Johnson for stealing too much credit, thinks he's going to puppet master Deion Sanders' own son? Come on. Now let me flip this to you. Would Shedeur Sanders even survive Dallas? Or would Jerry's obsession crush the kid before he ever has the chance to step into greatness? This isn't just football anymore. This is Succession with shoulder pads, a soap opera in cleats. Because that's what it is. Jerry's playing the long con. The Browns are fracturing. Deion is in the background, stirring the pot. Shedeur is stuck in the middle, trying to keep his head down. And the NFL? Oh, the NFL hates this. The league doesn't want chaos. They want clean trades, polished press releases, sanitized storylines. But Jerry? He feeds on chaos. He thrives on the circus. And that's where we are, balanced on the edge of a trade rumor that feels less like football and more like Shakespeare with shoulder pads. Jerry Jones, the aging king, desperate to lock in his legacy before the curtain falls. Shedeur Sanders, the prodigal prince, carrying the weight of bloodline and expectation. Cleveland, the fractured kingdom, torn between guarding their golden boy or cashing out for dollar signs. The Browns' locker room isn't even a team anymore. It's an episode of Succession shot in Cleveland. Half the coaches want to hand Shedeur the keys. The other half are calculating how many luxury suites they could sell off his hype. And if Jerry Jones strolls in with his wallet full of oil money and empire dreams, you'd better believe even the water boys will have hedge fund advisors whispering in their ears. So let me ask you this. Should Shedeur Sanders stay in Cleveland and build a legacy of his own? Or would he be better off taking Jerry's spotlight and risking it all in Dallas? Now here's where the story takes a darker turn. Because when Jerry Jones steps into your world, it's not just about whispers and steakhouse deals. It's about power. And once Jerry gets his hooks into your franchise, good luck pulling them out. Behind the scenes, this isn't just a battle for Shedeur Sanders. It's a tug-of-war between billionaire egos, corporate deals, and a family legacy that's bigger than football. And you can feel it in every headline, every panel debate, every crack in Kevin Stefanski's voice when he's asked about his quarterback's future. The Browns thought they were building around Shedeur. They thought they had their answer for the next decade. But Jerry's shadow has a way of swallowing everything. Suddenly every press conference feels like a courtroom. Every play Shedeur makes gets dissected not just as football, but as stock value in a billionaire's portfolio. And that's where Stefanski comes in. Picture it, a head coach who just wants to focus on the X's and O's, suddenly dragged into a soap opera he never signed up for. He's pacing the sidelines, headset on, trying to block out the noise. But deep down, he knows he doesn't control this anymore. Not when Jerry Jones is circling. Not when half his front office is staring at dollar signs. Stefanski isn't just coaching football. He's fighting for the soul of his team. And he knows if Jerry Jones gets what he wants, Cleveland might never recover. This isn't play calling anymore. This is survival. Now let's zoom in on Shedeur himself. Think about the pressure this kid is under. Rookie quarterback, son of Deion Sanders, a city desperate for a savior. And now, he's hearing his name linked with Jerry Jones, the most polarizing owner in sports. How does a 22-year-old handle that? How do you focus on reading coverages when billionaires are whispering about moving you across the country? How do you step into a huddle when every teammate is wondering if you're even going to be here next year? And this is where it gets real. Because Shedeur isn't just a quarterback, he's a brand. He's the face of NFL, the poster child of a new era where athletes don't just play, they profit. He knows his name means money. He knows his jersey sells before he even takes a snap. And Jerry Jones? That man sees Shedeur not just as a quarterback, but as a marketing gold mine. But here's the danger. When you're a gold mine, people don't protect you, they exploit you. And Jerry Jones has built his empire on exactly that. To Jerry, Shedeur Sanders isn't just a player, he's a product. And yet, in the middle of all this, there's Deion. Primetime, Hall of Famer, showman, Cowboy legend. This is the wild card. Because Jerry Jones isn't just chasing Shedeur, he's chasing nostalgia. He's chasing the memory of Deion in a star helmet, high-stepping down the sideline, bringing Dallas glory in the 90s. Jerry doesn't just want Shedeur. He wants the storyline. He wants to recreate Prime Time, Part 2. But here's the twist. Deion isn't just some dad in the stands. He's Shedeur's coach, his protector, his brand manager, his everything. And you think Prime is gonna just sit back and let Jerry Jones script his son's future? Not a chance. This isn't 1995 anymore. Jerry doesn't hold all the cards. Deion knows the game too. And if Jerry thinks he can puppeteer Prime's son the way he puppeteered players in the 90s, he's in for a rude awakening. So now you've got Jerry and Deion circling each other like heavyweights, Stefanski trapped in the middle, and Shedeur standing there, the prize everyone wants to claim. And the Browns? They're starting to crack. Here's the fallout. Rumors of tampering. Secret backroom dinners. Agents whispering about mystery packages involving first-round picks. The NFL watching closely, terrified of the precedent this might set. Because let's be real, if Jerry Jones can just start circling rookies before their contracts even breathe, what's to stop every other billionaire from turning this league into the Wild West? You think the commissioner's happy about this? Not a chance. The league doesn't want the Cowboys writing the rules. They don't want Jerry rewriting the playbook for how franchises steal stars. But Jerry doesn't care. Jerry has one eye on the league office and the other eye on history. He's 81 years old. He doesn't have time for patience. He wants one more headline, one more dynasty, one more crown jewel before the curtain falls. And to him, that jewel is Shedeur Sanders. This isn't just Jerry chasing a quarterback. This is Jerry Jones chasing immortality. So where does this leave us? With chaos, with uncertainty, with Cleveland fans pacing their living rooms, terrified their golden boy might get stolen by the empire down in Dallas. With Shedeur stuck in a spotlight he never asked for. With Stefanski praying he can keep his locker room intact. And with Jerry Jones, smiling in the shadows, knowing he's already planted the seeds of doubt. Because that's what Jerry does best. He doesn't just build teams. He builds drama. He builds headlines. He builds soap operas the whole country can't look away from. And now, Shedeur Sanders is the star of his latest production. So let me throw it back to you, because this story isn't just playing out on the field. It's playing out in living rooms, barbershops, comment sections, and yes, right here on this channel. Should Shedeur Sanders resist the empire, stay in Cleveland, and carve his own legacy? Or should he take the leap, step into the star, and risk it all under Jerry's circus tent? Because make no mistake, whatever happens next won't just shape the Browns. It won't just shape the Cowboys. It'll shape the NFL. And it all comes down to one kid, one owner, and one question that nobody in Cleveland wants to ask out loud. What if Jerry Jones actually gets what he wants? This isn't a trade rumor anymore. This is the opening act of the NFL's next great soap opera. And trust me, you won't want to miss how this one ends. If you're fired up about this story, if you believe Shedeur Sanders deserves better than being Jerry's last gamble, or if you think he should embrace the spotlight and take Dallas by storm, drop your take in the comments. I want to hear it. And of course, if you want more raw, unfiltered breakdowns of the NFL's biggest controversies, the stories the league tries to sanitize but we bring to you raw and real, then hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and stay locked in. Because here on Gridiron Insights, we're not just telling stories. We're exposing the empire. And right now, the empire has Shedeur Sanders in its crosshairs. Like and subscribe.